Your house is losing heat right now. Not slowly, not gradually, exponentially. Through every square foot of decorative glass your architect talked you into and your realtor called a feature. The grid has been down for 4 hours. It's 11 at night, your family is asleep, and the most expensive walls in your house are made of a material with the thermal resistance of a screen door. You check the thermostat before bed. 68 degrees. Felt handled. Felt like you'd done something right. Because the house you built, or bought, or stretched for was supposed to be the answer to exactly this kind of night. The shelter. The variable you controlled when everything else was going sideways. Here is what nobody told you when you were standing in that living room admiring the view. Those floor-to-ceiling windows, the ones that made you feel like you were bringing the outside in, were accurate. They are bringing the outside in, right now, while you sleep. The architect who sold you that line was technically correct. He just left out the part about February. There are 3 things you need to understand before morning. Why glass bleeds heat in a way no other building material does. How fast your specific house is losing the fight right now. And the 2 adjustments that change the outcome, both of which cost less than a dinner out. This channel runs the numbers that the home building industry, the prepping industry, and the survival gear industry would rather you didn't run. Not because the information is complicated, because it's inconvenient for everyone who wants to sell you something. If you want to know what your house is actually doing tonight, subscribe. Every audit on this channel is the one your purchase didn't come with. Let's inspect the glass. Before we get to numbers, do something for me. Put your hand on the window. Hold it there for 5 seconds. Now move it to the wall right next to it, the drywall, the insulated section nobody puts on the brochure. Your hand just ran the R value test. Your body already knows the answer. R value is a material's resistance to heat flow. Higher number means better insulation. The heat stays where you put it. Lower number means the material conducts, transfers, bleeds. The insulated wall your hand just touched, R15 to R21, depending on when your house was built and what your contractor used. The double pane argon window your hand was on before that, R3. That's not a slight difference, that's 5 to 7 times worse at the largest possible scale, installed in the most prominent position in your living room. A standard modern open-plan home has between 80 and 120 square feet of glass in the main living area alone. That is not a window, that is a wall, built deliberately from the worst thermal material available, because it photographs well. And here is the part that should sit with you. That glass didn't become a problem when the grid went down. It has always been a problem. Your furnace has been running continuous damage control for every hour you've lived in that house, compensating for what the glass was draining. You just never noticed because the pump was keeping up with the leak. The grid going down didn't create your thermal problem, it revealed it. The people who run these numbers regularly tend to find the same thing. The expensive feature is usually the liability. We'll be back to that. Think about your furnace differently for a moment. It was not heating your house. It was replacing heat your house was continuously losing, mostly through the glass, continuously, every hour of every day. The furnace wasn't a comfort system. It was a life support system for a structure that could not hold its own temperature without mechanical assistance for a single hour. Think of it this way. You're in a boat with a slow leak. You've got a good pump, a really good pump, electric, reliable. It runs all the time and keeps the water level down, and you've never once thought of yourself as a man with a leaking boat, because the pump never lets you see the water. You think of yourself as a man with a boat. The grid goes down, the pump stops. Now you see the boat. That is the modern energy-efficient home in a grid failure. Airtight construction, smart insulation on the walls, and then, because someone needed to justify the price per square foot, 200 square feet of R3 glass facing north and west and straight into the February wind. The guys who built before 1970 weren't smarter. Glass was expensive. Small panes were the only option. Small rooms, low ceilings, interior walls that compartmentalized the space. Those houses weren't cozy by design philosophy. They were cozy because physics was cheaper to respect than to fight. Your house fights physics every hour of every day. And it was winning, right up until the moment it wasn't. The same pattern shows up in every audit we run on this channel. The modern solution creates a dependency. The dependency is invisible until the system it depends on stops. Worth keeping in mind. It is 11 at night. The grid has been down since 7. Hour 2, 61 degrees. You wake up because something is slightly wrong. The temperature your body expects in the middle of the night is not this. You put on a sweater. You tell yourself it's fine. It is fine, for now. The glass has been running its extraction operation for 6 hours. It doesn't care that it's fine. Hour 5, 52 degrees. This is where the body starts filing a report. Not dangerous, not yet, but the kids are up. Your youngest is standing in the hallway asking why it's cold, and you don't have a clean answer. Because the real answer is 200 square feet of architectural glass and a furnace that needed a grid to run. Your dog won't leave the bedroom. The house that cost you $450,000 is performing, firmly, like a tent with better flooring. Hour 8, 44 degrees. This is where inconvenience becomes a medical conversation for anyone elderly or very young in the house. Your wife is asking questions. You are now in a situation that is going to require decisions, and the window, no pun intended, for easy decisions closed around hour 3. The open floor plan that made your kitchen feel connected to the living room is now ensuring the cold is connected to every room with identical efficiency. Interior design working exactly as intended. Here is the full audit. The modern home is not shelter in the way that word used to mean. It is a thermally dependent machine designed to be beautiful, optimized to be efficient with mechanical assistance running 24 hours a day, and completely unprepared to hold temperature on its own for a single winter night without the grid that powers the furnace that compensates for the glass that was always the problem. You did not build a trap, you built what everyone builds. But every one of those homes has the same vulnerabilities, and now you know what they are. The man who knows this before February is a different man than the one who discovers it at hour 5 with a cold kid in the hallway. You built or bought something for your family to be safe in. It deserves an honest audit. That's what this channel is. Next audit, your electric vehicle in a grid-down scenario. The one the dealership definitely did not walk you through. It is, if anything, a colder number than this one. Subscribe. Every video on this channel is the audit your purchase didn't come with. Have them before you need them. We don't sell the beautiful house. We sell the math behind the walls.